Hello everyone and welcome to my very first YouTube video. Today we will be discussing Genshin's newest Archon, Furina the Hydro Archon.
What's done is done. Just trust in me, your Archon. Never mind whether you can truly convince yourself to or not.
Looking at Furina's base stats, we can see that she has a really low attack but no worries as she scales with HP instead. Her Ascension stat is crit rate, which means that at max level she's a 24.2% crit chance, not considering weapons or artifacts. Leveling Furina to max will require 2.1 million Mora, 418 Heroes Wit, 168 Lake Light Lily, and 46 of the boss mats of the Hydrotulpa boss. Let's look at her kit, starting with her basic attack. When she charge attacks, she switches alignment from Osea to Pneuma, or vice versa. Her default is Osea. Her skill has two modes depending on alignment. In Pneuma, she summons her water pet to heal the party, but will mainly be using her other part of the skill, while in Osea, when triggered, she summons her little water Pokemons. They will attack whoever you're attacking. They will also lose you some health. Her Hydro application is not the highest, but it's still plenty for most teams. Finally, we have the ultimate ability. When activated, it does a bit of damage and enters the party into universal reverie state. While in this state, whenever any team member loses or gains HP, she will gain a stack of fanfare. Fanfare increases teammates' damage dealt up to a total of 75% with max stacks at rank 10, as well as increasing the healing bonus of the whole party. Furina has a nice bonus in her kit, which allows her to walk on water like Kokomi does during her ult, but easier. She also has a costume change when she changes alignment from Osea to Pneuma. As for her talent priority, I recommend going for her ultimate first, as that's her party buffing ability, followed by her skill, as it will do some respectable damage, while enabling her ultimate even further, with the HP fluctuations. For last, we have her basic attacks, which apart from switching from Osea to Pneuma, you won't be using much if at all. To level both her ultimate and skill to level 9, you're going to need to spend almost 2 million Mora, 6 green Justice, 42 of the blue one and 44 of the purple ones. Lastly, it's gonna cost you 8 of the new weekly bosses mats. For artifact sets, you may be tempted to go for the Hunter set, seeing as she loses HP by using her skill, but considering that most of her damage comes from her little friends, Golden Troop will be the right choice. Furina is great, and at the same time a bit of a pain because she can enable the Hunter set for your other team members that previously couldn't make proper use of it, which makes for a bit of a situation if you're trying to figure out if it's worth it to switch. All I can say at this moment is that, at the very least, you will be farming for a Hunter set, while farming for Furina set. For stats, we can safely ignore attack rolls, as she doesn't really scale from them. On the circlet, go either critical chance or damage, whichever puts you in a better spot. She gives a good amount of damage percent. Considering this, it allows us to go for either HP percent or Hydro damage percent goblet. Go for whichever has better rolls. On her sands, go for an energy recharge, 1 if you notice that you can't ult when needed, otherwise go for HP percent. As for substats, go for the usual critical value, a percent rolls whenever you get them. ER depends on your team composition and weapon choice. An easy safe number would be 200 for teams that don't include another Hydro character, but it will depend. Now to discuss her constellations for a second. Her C1 is great. It front-loads a good amount of fanfare stacks, as well as raising the cap. The real increase to consider is her C2. It allows you to increase the amount of fanfare stacks earned by 250%. The increase this constellation gives Furina is similar to another Archon. Now it's important to note that Furina functions perfectly fine at C0 if spending only spend what you're willing and capable of affording. For Furina's weapons, her best in slot is obviously her signature, but on a more free-to-play choice, we have the Festering Desire. ER substat, combining with the skill damage increase and skill crit rate, makes a really good choice for her, if you were around during the event that gave it away, that is. In the case that you weren't playing Genshin at the time, you can look forward to start fishing, cause the pipe is your next best choice. While slightly less powerful, it is still one of the best choices, as 4-star weapons go even surpassing some 5-star ones. Next up, we have the weapon banners. Don't. While her weapon is great for her personal damage, you don't want the Donut 2.0. The risk is just too big. If you get either Beishu's weapon or a standard pool weapon, neither will be all that great for her. To end, I and many others consider Furina very powerful and definitely a worthwhile summon. Just remember that if you're going spend wisely, dear travelers. As this was my first video, feel free to let me know your thoughts about it. And if you so kindly would hit the like button and maybe even the subscribe button. It's free, I promise. With that said, best of luck on your rolls. Bye.